What is up, my friends? You're welcome along to a second Anfield Agenda video for the evening. Twitch decided to go down, so I said, hey, why not jump onto YouTube, record a little something else? Because I've noticed over the past 24 hours, 48 hours, maybe even a little bit longer, a lot of stuff has been written both from within our fan base and from the mainstream media about the turmoil at our football club. And I just want to clear a few things up from my own perspective, give you my take on them, and of course, ask you for your opinions in the comment section. Do drop a like on the video if you enjoy it or if you agree with me. And of course, please do hit that subscribe button if you are new to the channel. So look, let's start off with something that I think is a huge frustration to a lot of us Liverpool fans. The phrase, if you can't support us when we're losing, don't support us when we're winning. To those people that trout out that absolute nonsensical line all the time, please shut up and go away. You should always want any aspect of your life to develop, progress, and be better. Whether that's your own health, your own growth as a human being, your business, or whatever. So to just think that you can trot out that if you can't support us when we're losing, don't support us when we're winning, nonsense. You are John W. Henry and FSG's wet dream. They dream of a season, a stadium full of people with that mentality who will just sit there and watch any old dross, pay their money, buy their jerseys. But here's the irony. These very same people that like to look down on the rest of us for daring to be ambitious or daring to want better or daring to question the status quo will then tell us that Liverpool Football Club exists to win trophies. I mean, don't even try to argue with the top Reds. Don't even waste your time because they're so set in their ways and their only main goal in all of this is to feel superior to you as a fan. That's it. And I learned that a long time ago. So I don't really listen to their opinions or care about what they say. But I just wanted to clear that up because I've seen more of this creep up. The worse our team is playing on the pitch, the more our fans seem to clash. So from that perspective, we all want the same thing. Liverpool club to do well. You're not a better fan by doing one thing or another. You're still the same old person. You're still a fan like the rest of us. So now we move on to Jude Bellingham and the Real Madrid side of all of this. I'm constantly asked, do I have any updates on Jude Bellingham? And I can only tell you what I've said before. That to the best of my knowledge, Liverpool is his preference. And that if he leaves Borussia Dortmund and Liverpool pay the fee, Liverpool Football Club will be his next destination. I've told you my reasoning for this. I've told you from a point of what I was told. I've told you what I've read for my own opinion. Nothing has changed in that for me. The only thing that I can see that has changed is the Madrid mouthpieces, and by that I mean the Madrid-friendly media who are being briefed or nudged what to say, have changed their tone. And they've said that things like Real Madrid have been silently going about their work. No, they haven't. All these same mouthpieces were telling us weeks ago that he wasn't a priority, that they didn't want them, that they weren't going to pay €150 million. Now, prefix that with them previously telling us that he wasn't signing a contract at Borussia Dortmund or an extension because Madrid asked him to. And then you ask yourself why many other journalists are saying that the preference for him and his family are Liverpool. So it's up to you what you believe, what you read, and what you don't. But at the end of the day, we will find out where Jude Bellingham ends up at some point. And between now and that point, whenever it may be, there is going to be a lot of articles written, a lot of podcasts made, a lot of videos like this very one here being made. But ultimately, the only news that will matter is when we know definitively where Jude Bellingham ends up. Then we can address all of this again. So no, from my perspective, nothing has changed other than the charm offensive and the entitlement from the Madrid side. But I don't believe it'll have an impact. That's my take on it. Something on Bobby Firmino now. So, although this is coming from the Mail, they say, although he has offers on the table from clubs in Saudi Arabia alongside interest from Barcelona, Juventus, Atletico Madrid and Sao Paulo, Roberto Firmino is still leaning towards penning a contract extension at Anfield. Good. That's good news for me. Could I understand it if Bobby was tempted by the riches of a move to somewhere like Saudi Arabia? Of course I can. It's serious money. But my preference would be that short extension on reduced wages to stay at Liverpool, because I think he still has a little bit to give to the football club. So I'm easy either way. I think Bobby's earned the right to see out his own destiny and make his own decisions. But for me, if he stays, brilliant. The next thing I wanted to bring up is around the stuff around Pep Linders, because it seems like Pep Linders, if you're to believe reports, has been given a little bit more, I don't want to say power, because I don't like to use the words power, influence on decision making. And I think, from what I can see, a lot of our fans are looking to scapegoat somebody, and Pep Linders seems to be the person who is being scapegoated at the minute. Ultimately, for me, the buck stops with the manager. So if the manager, and I don't know if he is or isn't, is being influenced by people who are having a negative impact on what we're doing, then it's up to Jurgen Klopp to remove that influence. So ultimately, John W. Henry and FSG and Jurgen Klopp are the ones who are accountable, in my opinion. So for me, when we're not performing well or when we're recruiting the wrong players, the buck stops solely with the manager. He forms his team around him, those who he trusts, those who he values the opinion of. And if they succeed because Jurgen Klopp's the leader. If they fail because Jurgen Klopp's the leader. But either way, Klopp's the leader. So I don't know where we are, but I do agree that something doesn't feel right. I do agree that medically we seem to get an ungodly amount of injuries, but I don't know the answers to it. The only people that will know those answers are the people inside the club. Now, there was one other thing that I wanted to read out, and it was something that came from at MSI Douglas, and Anfield Edition posted it. So the Premier League rival, whose team recently played Liverpool, has said that their three main weaknesses were identified in a pre-game meeting: their vulnerability in transitions, how they concede clear-cut chances, and their inability to deal with physicality. Now, I don't mean to toot my own horn here, but I've been saying those very things, that we are our own worst enemies. We create chances for the opposition by giving the ball away needlessly in transition. I've said that till I'm blue in the face. And I agree with everything that was said there. Everything I think we're guilty of. And I can't stomach seeing players out there who don't have the heart for the fight, for the physicality, for the rough and tumble, because you've got to win the battle. You've got to go out there and assert your dominance. Because there's one thing we know about the Premier League. It isn't always the most talented team that wins. It's the team that's willing to put it all together. A team that's willing to run those hard yards when it seems a lost cause. A team that's willing to put themselves on the line for their teammates. We used to be that team. We used to strike fear into opposition with that physicality, with that relentless press. And those seem like they're a thing of the past these days. And this again leads back to trust and Jurgen Klopp. And I've said the same thing over and over again. I don't know how he continues to put faith in players that are throwing him under a bus. And if he does not have the ruthless streak in him, it won't end well for him and his legacy. And none of us want that to happen to Jurgen Klopp. So that's my take on everything. I really do want to know what you guys think and what you think the problems are. Are they as big as I and others are making them out to be? Or is it much ado about nothing and we need a couple of midfielders? But whatever the answer is, it needs to be found quickly and we need to be more proactive, because we're in a bad place right now. You've probably, if you haven't already watched my preview for the FA Cup, give it a watch, let me know your thoughts. I went weak with the team because I just don't think we can afford injuries right now. So that's my take on everything, my friends. As always, I want to thank you for your support of the channel. I want to thank our sponsors as well, one of whom you can see in the bottom right hand corner there, Oosh. Scan that code if you want 10% off any of the draw packages with Oosh.com. Use the referral code AA10. And yeah, I've nothing else to say really other than it will come good. We do deserve better. Our manager deserves better. But he also needs to wield the axe and he needs to show a ruthless streak. That's where I'm at. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.